There are 120,000 city blocks in New York. That's according to this article we found about a guy who walked down every single one of them. And while each block has its own unique set of buildings, people, and decorations, there are a few things that show up consistently no matter where you are in the city. What's something you see on every street in New York?
Every block in New York you see
hot dog stand.
Lots of busy people power walking.
Well, you see a street sign.
Street signs? Street signs.
Every street in New York City is flooded with signs, but who's in charge of putting them up, and how do they even get made to begin with? This is your sign to watch this video about signs.
We don't go to Home Depot and buy this stuff. It's all got to be made here by hand. There you go, put that on.
Any street sign you've ever seen in New York City was made here in this shop. This is truly sign heaven. When we just barged in on you, what were you working on? In my head, an exit sign is like this big. This is like the same size as me.
So I got my ear protection. Welcome to the land of arcs and sparks.
We're here at the Maspa Central Sign Shop. This is where all the street signs in New York City are made. We're gonna go inside, check it out, meet some of the people who make the signs that make New York run. Let's go. Whoa, 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 look at this. Just a stack of stop signs.
Good morning, everybody. My name is John Brennan. I'm a supervisor with the New York City Department of Transportation. I've been working here for 36 years.
Do you know how long signs typically last?
Usually they should be good for 5 years, but wear and tear. That's all it comes down to.
Hi, I'm Mike Riga. I work for DOT as a letter and sign painter. This is the actual street name signs. They start as just blank aluminum plates.
Yeah.
We take those, we apply a material called HIP, high intensity prismatic, and that's what makes them reflective. Put this transfer paper on top of them, and we place them all by hand.
Boom. What's the name of this font?
So there's something called the Federal Highway Administration. It governs the entire United States about how things are supposed to look. Certain colors, certain fonts, certain sizing.
We did some research on the Federal Highway Administration. Its history begins in the late 19th century, and it eventually led to the construction of the U.S. highway system. All that aside, there's a British film from 1937 on their website that promotes the pleasures of car ownership, and while it's totally unrelated to this video, we thought it was worth sharing.
Along the rolling highway, singing a song to the rhythm of the road. The sun's in the sky, a heaven of blue. The world passes by. You hear the...
Maybe my fireman calendar is inappropriate.
No, keep that. Keep that. Don't take that down.
I'm Kate. I work at the Maspa Sign Shop as a letterer. I create all of the signs you see in New York City.
When we just barged in on you, what were you working on?
So I was actually doing some red signs. It's kind of like a stencil. We'll weed the vinyl and apply that, and that'll make the sign.
Where are the actual signs?
Right now in my room, I have a couple plates, but you guys,
So you call them
pretty
plates?
much yeah.
I didn't even really think that this was how it worked. So it's like a big sticker, and it's like the white is like almost a negative space. So you feel like your fingerprints are all over the city.
I find this job really satisfying because everything I do here kind of matters. It affects other people's lives. The parking signs, like when we changed the metered parking to you can pay on your cell phone, I pretty much printed every single one of those signs.
Wow.
So it's hard to like go out in the street and be like, that Fulton Street sign was mine. Probably not. But the blue signs, I'm like, yeah, I touched every single one of those.
Oh my God.
I do a lot of street signs. So the local law signs are cool because they're all named after people who have lived in New York City. But I believe the rule is that you can't have a local law until they've passed.
Yeah.
So I don't know everyone. As I'm getting the jobs, I'm like, ooh, I wonder who this was. Yeah.
I'm Billy Gormley.
I'm Bridget Gormley. We're in beautiful Brooklyn on the corner of Flatbush and Flatlands. So this sign right here, this red sign, was put up in memory of my father, who was a FDNY firefighter, who responded on 9/11, survived that day, but then got cancer 16 years later. And it's on this corner because this used to be an apartment building where he lived. That's the florist where he worked. That's the school he went to. And I got a bowl-busting aunt, my dad's sister, and the only reason that sign is on this particular block is because she's got a big mouth and she got it there. Originally, oh, look at this. All right, I like it.
It means a lot, honestly, you know? It's like the fire department's always like, never forget anything. If it happened the day of 9/11 or 16 years later, and people are still dying from it, so
This neighborhood in particular, it's very heavy on cops, firemen, sanitation, essentially everybody that responded on 9/11. So if you weave in and out of these neighborhoods, you're gonna see hundreds of these. I drive by this probably, I don't know, just good living life. I think that's the beauty of it.
Like every time we go to our aunt's house over there, probably pass it. It is nice seeing it up there and looking around, and sometimes you do catch other people on the sidewalk looking up at it, just curious, you know? They don't know too much about it.
It looks like a big tennis racket.
It's really heavy one to play with.
Too heavy for tennis.
Yes.
It's all made out of metal anyway, so
it's not metal. It's a high density acrylic. My name Paul. I'm a sign painter and letters. Yeah, it's the process going on right now. In a few minutes it will be done. My wife, she commutes every morning. She's going to Manhattan. And then I said to her, listen, I'm helping you. It's a beautiful bus stop station, and you can see what is the bus is upcoming. So you're not gonna mess up.
Good.
You'll be on time.
100 years of New York. 125 wins. Wow. New York City welcomes Nelson Mandela. So is there a sign that's stolen frequently?
We had the Joe DiMaggio highway signs. People were actually going out, climbing up and trying to steal the sign.
Yankees fans. When you're not here and you're walking around or driving around New York, are you thinking about the signs?
I'm looking to see if there's anything hanging, anything missing, anything street name size faded.
On the bottom, there says Department of Transportation, and there's a number.
If you're in the field and this sign is not legible anymore, they can take the sign code and easily replace it.
My name is Frank Kotnick. I'm a blacksmith for the New York City Department of Transportation. We don't go to Home Depot and buy this stuff. It's all got to be made here by hand. I'm going to tell you, this is the truth, okay? The brutal truth. A lot of people think the signs grow on the poles.
Of course, a place like this exists. Like the signs, Frank said it, the signs don't grow on trees. They don't grow on poles. They have to be made somewhere. But just to be in the place where they're made, I don't know, puts things in perspective. Signs, they need to be attached to something.
These brackets here, for instance, this is for a job up in the Bronx. All of these pieces have to be cut precisely, notched.
What were you working on today when we came in and interrupted
Oh, no, I was
you?
just, you know what? Listen, shut this off a second and I want to show you. No, seriously. These are one of the brackets that holds the Avenue American signs on 6th Avenue. I'm going to show you what it takes to bend one of these curves. Make sure everything's corrected in place and then weld it.
Yeah, makes sense.
You need anything welded? I'll show you. I can.
Might as well. I mean, you got the thing, it's in your hand. There we go. Perfect.
There's two gases in here. One is acetylene, which is flammable, and the other one is oxygen, which is an oxidizer. By itself, the acetylene is not that hot. Once look at turn on the oxygen, yeah, it's very hot.
Does this saw cut?
I'll show you if you want to see how that cuts.
Is it going to be really loud?
Yeah, it's going to be loud.
You know what I'm going to do? This ain't Bob Ross and painting happy little squirrels and This is a little loud. That's what the camera likes. They like, welcome to the land of arcs and sparks.
It's so easy to live your life and forget that everything you see was, for the most part, made by a person. The building you live in, the jacket you wear, food you eat, or bike you ride, they're all the product of someone's hard work. When it comes to New York City signs, Mike puts it perfectly.
Everything in the boroughs comes through here at some point. It's hands-on from one of the couple letters that are here. But there's a million people that see my and everybody else's work every single day.
So next time you're trying to get to Union Square, merging onto the FDR, looking for Joey Ramone Place, or figuring out if you can park in that space in front of your building, just remember to think of all the people at the sign shop who helped get that sign on its pole.